because that would, and it's not supposed to be real. People say, oh, gee, your dress looks great, but too bad about your shoes. But I do that on purpose, because I always like something to be completely wrong, sort of, as a, just to, I guess it makes me feel more comfortable.
So you kind of keep that hippie look, too.
Well, once in a while I've worn, I don't know, just, some things that I've done sort of accidentally. I mean, not accidentally, but this has a reason, some things, like, no one that I saw or that I like to parody or make, sort of satire of. And
Not interested in men styling up too.
no, really, in fact, well, it's certainly not in a dress.
If you feel it, Christian, aren't you real?
It's you, huh?
It's part of me. And I noticed that Judy brought out in something in me that I didn't know about, that I was more myself or friendlier, or because sometimes I'm contained when I have costume, and other people enjoy it, but sometimes they were put off, like I did a Russian Grand Duchess, which was all black sequins, and it started by being someone called Helen Caldwell, who was very chic. I got her together to go to the Charles Pierce show, and I very seldom do that to entertain us, but I mean, I never have, except this one time, and I got this perfectly fabulous black sequin dress, which you wouldn't believe this story. It's really true that I glued about 5,000 black sequins on this floor-length dress, which was about a 1930 dress. And I wore it once before, so the night before I did this thing at the Pierce show, I cleaned it with Q-tips and Windex, every sequin.
Jeez.
It was absolutely fabulous. But anyway, that's the, and then I just had these, anyway, I kept adding it, it kept getting worse and worse and worse, so finally, and I love Russian history anyway, it became the Grand Duchess of all the incredible sort of huge tiara that I made.
Can you explain your punk rock blonde outfit with the blood all over your t-shirt and the enormous bust? Do you feel do you feel the bizarre costumes on the dancers are sexually orientated towards the viewers? Do you think it stimulates them in any way?
I don't know. I think that in a way everybody is, coming on. But I don't know. I don't think it really means very much sexually.
Do you have any?
In a sense. If you mean, and I get sort of catcalls on the way over here, but I don't, no, it's strange.
Why do you think there's more freedom for one to express himself in New York nightlife than anywhere else in the world?
Well, I think because New Yorkers, being used to, and you have to, some people say New Yorkers are unfriendly, but they're not unfriendly at all. It's just that we expend a lot more energy than most people, I think. And the energy that we want to keep, what we consider precious, and we want to use on people like, have an exchange with you, it has to be saved. So we're used to filtering all these things out. And New Yorkers don't think very much of it at all. They don't think much of unusual things. They're used to walking around the body. I got off the subway last night, and at 42nd Street there was a man lying on the platform, on the ramp from the BNT. Everyone walked around him. And I decided, as I usually do, that I was going to do something about it. And I looked for a policeman. There was none in the whole 42nd Street complex of the subways. But people are sort of not, these people weren't irresponsible, really. They were just using their New York-ism, their way of being in the city. We save it for the people we know or that we're going to be with.
Christian, is that your natural voice?
Yes, of course.
It is.
Yes. That's why I had trouble in school. Actually, I'm trying to figure out, because I love to sort of titillate people. Some people do it, but I think, they do it too much. I was starting to say earlier, because it's important to me somehow, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, and that's what I like. This is it's a complete release. I once had a bag lady who I thought was the most extreme thing I ever did, because she was paranoid. She went around the place and no one liked her in that costume. But it was a part of me. But she was frightened, and she went and she just sat in the middle of the dance floor like this for about 5 minutes and looked at everyone. I didn't really enjoy them too much, but she wasn't aggressive about it. And it was a sort of nice experience, too.
Do you have any unfulfilled fantasies?
Oh, I'm sure there's a whole rack full on 14th Street. I don't know, these things aren't specific, I don't think. So maybe the early things were, especially the grand things, I have tiaras and really dazzling things that were just being like a tableau, I guess. I sort of moved and like a moving. I did things, and I suppose I don't know. Some of the things.
Do you work for
designer?
art director?
Freelance.
What, freelance?
Yeah.
What style of art direction?
Well, I don't know. That's sort of changed, actually. I was brought up as a Bauhausian designer, which is very hard-edged German design, very clean and without any frills. And I've softened that.
You have softened that.
Yes.
Do you think your costumes have any effect on...
Once in a while I do that on the dance floor, Sometimes when I'm out there dancing, I just completely become a child again. You see, I think we spend half of our time, and unfortunately a lot of energy, screening things out. And it's sort of interesting because it's fun, I like to have things that are fun, but also, admittedly some of them are a little irritating to people occasionally.
The girls can't help it.
No, the girls love it, but the men don't like it too much because...
What effect has Judy had on your life?
Judy? I don't know. Judy had a lot of effect on my life, really, because everyone loves Judy. It's in my t-shirt, but... And they keep looking back. Yeah, skin-tight t-shirt, but look like two women at their head. If I look at things from a different perspective and be sort of completely rebellious in that way, I always...
And go out in the city all alone. You don't need anybody.
Do you pick up any fashion ideas while out in the nightlife in New York?
I usually give them away. It's a lot easier.
Do you think